Okay, hello, this is a meeting of the Sleepy Hollow Local Development Corp. The date is October 13th. We'll call the meeting to order. First off are the minutes from September 22nd. Edits, comments, additions. If not, get a motion to approve.
Approve the minutes of September 22nd as presented.
Seconded.
All of them in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, expenditures. We've got a total of there, 294, 418, 38. Couple items are larger. We have the audit fee of 10. We've got the fence. Is that it for the fence, Dan?
There's one more, I think that's $7,000 invoice that's for the very last, once they've completed all the installations. They still have a little bit of work to do.
Okay, and then land, it's in Tully. Is that it for them?
That's effectively their final invoice.
Is there anything specific to Sean's?
No,
Catch up?
this is just covers them for the previous month. The next invoice will be a little bit larger, as it should include hopefully some of the final paving. And then we'll have to consider reducing the retainage and releasing a little bit more of the retainage.
We'll do that tonight.
So,
okay, any other questions?
No, but I have a request for future ones, if we could have like a amount left.
oh, for the Sean's lawns?
No, for like,
Anyone that's residual?
these are both different accounts. So I would like to know, this is what this payment takes us down to what?
Okay.
Signature versus non,
Yeah, or both, I guess, the checking and.
right? Okay, anything else? Is there a motion to approve the expenditures?
Motion to approve expenditures. Is it good?
Okay.
And second one.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Good, we've got one resolution, which we will finalize and exact this. To the contract with Alex for 193. Pretty straightforward. We can talk more about the contract later if you like. Anything, folks? Can I get a motion to enter into LDA with SALT?
Motion to enter into LDA with basalt. And
Beekman bow ties.
I'm gonna change the name.
yeah, okay, here we go. Okay. Let me redo that. As amended. Resolution to enter into a authorizing the execution and delivery of land development agreement in connection with the project related to the properties currently owned by the LDC at 193 Beekman to accept the offer as per terms, negotiated terms from Beekman Bowtie.
Seconded.
All those in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Okay. Looks like they got a couple, Beekman Bowtie, Cliff Walk, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's done. Dan,
That's who
give
we
us,
bought it from.
what's that?
That's who we bought it
Bowtie?
from. I did not know that name.
Yes.
Someone's saying.
Dan, you want to give us your report?
Right, so we'll just start with, Colmar. They've installed a little over 95% of the new chain link fencing, several gates throughout the east parcel. They still have about 150 feet of fence and 2 gates that they will install after Sean's Lawns finishes their paving operation. Since those gates are going across the roadway and along the
Where
side
would
of the road.
those be?
It'd be at the intersection of Clinton and Continental, and then up at the top of the hill at the north end of Beekman, 193 Beekman.
The north end of Continental?
So Continental coming into the site where the T intersection is, that west leg of the T would be a gate.
Oh, all the way down there.
Right, yeah. And then following the Clinton extension up south towards Beekman Avenue, there'll be a gate across the road.
No, that's the one I'm questioning. Where is that?
That would be,
There's already a gate on Beacon.
that is the contractor's temporary gate. Just once Sean's Lawns leave, they're gonna take that gate down.
Oh, so that's when you're
So
talking
we'll have
about.
one-
That spot, that exact same spot.
Placing the temporary with,
When we want to open up access, assuming we want to open up pedestrian access cars. Is that the right? How do you see the phasing of opening going in the next 3 weeks?
Well, I mean, I suppose it's really up to the board, when they want to open access, whether it's to vehicles, pedestrians, one, the other, or both. One thing that we can do is install, leave a gate across the road, but have a smaller, like a man gate,
Yeah.
so that where there's sidewalk, you can still, or just leave a small
I
gap.
think the village ought to be. Don't you?
Sure, yeah, as long as, but I think in order to allow, because we have the pedestrian walkway open, which I saw is fenced, going from DeVries to the, like,
Right, cutting kind of north-south through the parcel.
yeah, which looks great. Picture of it. And so you can walk from DeVries and that will get you to the roadway. And then you can either go
Yeah.
east towards Continental, or you could go south towards Beekman. So would it be safe from a fencing is in place standpoint to be able to open those so people could walk to either Beekman or Continental? Because it would be awesome if people could walk from, let's say, Phillips Manor through DeVries to Beekman and then around it.
Yeah, I think the only one thing that would have to be put in place first is some sort of easement for the village. I think for just liability and. Right?
Sure. Okay.
Certainly for the roadway, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
need to kind of allow the village to kind of take over maintenance responsibility of that. And I would think the same if we are opening portions of the parcel to the public.
Yeah.
There has to be, some adjustments, I think, to the.
Right. So assuming we can get the, right protections in place, is it fenced all the way up both?
Yes.
But both ends have a car gate. So I think we want to add a
Pedestrian gate
pedestrian gate
on Beekman?
on Beekman and Continental. And then we can decide, we can make a recommendation, or the board can decide whether we would leave that open all the time or have the DPW close it and open it.
It'd be tricky because if you were walking south and didn't know the gate was closed, you'd be walking all the way
Yes.
up there. Then have to walk back.
That would be frustrating.
You almost want to just maybe start with the DeVries Continental.
Yeah.
Connection.
Or when they close it,
It
like,
could be done in tandem.
yeah, like close the Beekman one, drive down, tell anybody on the way. And then close the Continental one and yeah.
And this is assuming that the lights are on and everything.
Yeah, so will those lights be in?
The lights are not on yet. It's resting in Con Edison's hands right now. So I do not have a timeline for that.
So if there's no lights though, then we could open it just during the day, kind of like Kingsland.
Yeah, these are all
Yeah,
good
the
questions
signage,
we'll have to figure out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Signage open
the
dawn.
more imminent,
yeah, yeah.
requirement though is to sure we've got a pedestrian gate.
Yes,
That's kind of like the item that needs to be addressed sooner than later.
Okay.
And I don't know, on both ends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
And debris.
debris.
Well, does debris,
DeVries, I mean, does not have a pedestrian gate currently. It's just double.
Although if you can drive in, nobody drives that way anyway, debris, right? Because it's like,
I think there
could.
might,
You
you could, because
Yeah.
it's like a driveway.
yeah,
Right next to the bathroom.
yeah.
I think within DeVries, there is also like a gate arm that
Yeah,
blocks from
Yes,
the
that's
parking
true.
lot.
Yeah.
So you could have the fence gate open and the gate, you could prevent vehicles from DeVries. I think.
yeah, we don't need to overthink it. I think as long as you can block one of those, so that you can't do that.
Okay.
One other thing was the contractor did look into pricing out lighted LED solar powered stop signs. Those are essentially would add $1,700 per sign for that assembly. If that's the lights are in the sign itself.
You still want those, Lauren?
How much are the sign without it?
Well, without it, I think the signs are $400.
Well, I saw there was some pushback
Yeah, for,
from Sean,
in
but
the pedestrian,
I could see that in the village, but
in a neighborhood. That
yeah.
was a concern.
You bag that or just?
Yeah, I'm fine with bagging it.
Well, I mean, I think there was the new one that was on Beekman, and it's because of, I think it's really because, it's not daylit, like you can't actually see it. There's not really, I mean, there's going to be, there's traffic or speed humps. And there's also like no parking. I mean, you're not like parking right at the corner, so
Right.
you will see people as long as the lights are on.
And alternatively, what the DPW did for that sign at Beekman, it's a conversion kit.
Okay.
So that's only $700, where they just,
I hear.
it clips on
Yeah.
some LEDs.
Yeah, I was wondering, it looked like it was
I've
like,
done this until it's.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we need it.
regular signs, and then if the need arises or there's desire in the future, they can do
Yeah,
it.
again,
yeah, because that whole intersection might slightly change anyways once there's a bridge and all that stuff.
Yeah. You know the raised crosswalks,
That comes after they do the paving.
but like soon. This project.
Probably by around the end of this week
Okay.
is when they'll start that work. And as far as the work that Sean's Lawns has done since our last meeting, curbing and sidewalk is 100% completed. They've basically graded out the entirety of the site. The only thing remaining is we still have a need for about 1,000 cubic yards of topsoil to complete the infield area. If you've been out there, I did send some pictures. That only got about halfway filled with all the topsoil we had set aside for this project. So that we're working with Rue and Sean's Lawns to make sure that we have DEC approval to bring in some more topsoil and get that placed. So
I thought we had so much extra.
But when you place it a couple inches thick over probably 5 acres or so, those large piles disappear pretty quickly. And topsoil is different from the general fill that we've been using. So there was much smaller. I think we only had 2,000 or 3,000 yards of topsoil, and we need about 4,000 to cover the entire site. Verde is still coordinating with Con Ed to have them come out and perform an inspection and energize the system. So I'll let you know whenever that does get scheduled.
But they're done. Verde is done.
The lights, everything is installed. It's just, there's no connection from the transformer coming into the site to all the new conduits and everything.
Do they estimate 2 weeks or 2 months? or 6 months?
I haven't even gotten,
They
I don't know if they've gotten a response yet that, Con Ed is scheduled anything. It's still in the
You
queue.
calling them every day?
The contractor does, yes.
And they wait on hold for 6 hours. Yeah.
Are we gonna have a lighting ceremony or something?
Yeah. I think we
There certainly
should.
should be like a dedication of some sort. Someone flip the switch.
Although once the lights are on, then the question becomes, do we leave it open permanently? And let cars go through?
Yeah,
Well,
we wait.
Yeah.
let's make sure the lights all work
Yeah.
first. The remaining work, Sean's Lawn has to do, they've got to seed, the topsoiled areas. They still do have a little bit of topsoil to place. This week they're working on prepping the road beds so that they can do the final paving. And then they have a couple of subs coming in to do a couple runs of fencing and guide rail, mostly along the wall and at either end. After that, tentatively the week of the 20th, they'll come back and they'll finish paving the portion between Beekman and Barnhart. They'll put the top course down. They'll put in the signage, the striping. They have to install the raised crosswalks. And then they have to finish up their site cleanup, demobilization, and there might be just a small punch list of items that they need to clean up before they completely walk away. So likely finishing up around the end of October, maybe into the first week or so of November, until they're completely finished. As far as our grants, our grant administrator is moving forward with several reimbursements. One is for the Climate Smart Communities. That is for that is funding some of the work for the DPW bag of house now.
2 million?
That's the $2 million grant, but the reimbursement will be for $300,000. And that was money that we spent on the design going back a year or two now. So that hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have that package submitted to the state. And then it'll take hopefully 2 to 3 months or less to get that reimbursement. The ESD grant, which was our very first grant for $1.58 million. That package will be prepared between the end of this month and the first week of November. We are already on the ESD's agenda for their January meeting. That they review the work that's been done, all the invoices, and it takes a little bit longer for them to process the grant reimbursements. So that's anticipated for about July of next year, somewhere in about 9 months.
That's all of it or just the certain portion?
That's the full grant amount. We have, with Sean's Lawn, once the roadway is completed, that completes our obligations under that grant.
And that's, how much was that for?
1.58 million.
So that's in 9 months.
In about 9 months, yes.
Or less.
Yeah.
And then finally, the LWRP grant, though we still have not received the executed contract from the state. It is supposed to be coming any day now. We have about $800,000 in reimbursable expenses that are being submitted, or will be submitted as soon as we have that executed contract in hand. The anticipation there is that within 3 to 4 months, we should have that reimbursement, but based on how long it's taken to get the contract, it could be longer.
For the Climate Smart Communities grant, how long do we have to spend the remaining 1.7?
A minimum of a year, and then we'll have to go, continue to apply for extensions as needed. So
I
I
just got an extension, right?
did it for a year.
And when did that clock start?
I believe that probably wouldn't have started until the end of September when the contract was executed,
So we have till next September.
till next September. And before it gets to that point, we'll, depending on where we're at with that project, we'll be coordinating. The CSC, we do quarterly progress reports with the state, so.
How much will that project cost total? Like if 1.7 is grant funded, but we have to put the money up front.
Well, I think minimum right now would be about 2.4 million, and that's to spend what we need to complete the grant obligations. Plus, that includes money to re-engage with the architects to, prepare the packages and move it through the construction process.
You have to do the whole project before you get paid on that one.
No, this one is also, as you build it, you can submit quarterly.
The overall project needs to be 4 million.
Right, and of the 4 million, we've already spent about 2 million of that. So it's just the last 2 million to actually.
You spent 2 million.
Well, a million was spent on the design of it, and so but of that, only 300,000 was reimbursable. Right, the rest was we had a $2 million match. Right, so we effectively used up most of that match just doing the design and some of the other site work, moving the fill around. To prep the DPW site, that the wall along Continental Street is part of that match. So we've met the match component of that grant, but we still have $2 million to spend to recoup the actual grant money.
So we need about 2.5 million in our account before we spend.
And that is everything exactly, minus if the intent is to also lump in the salt shed and fueling to that would just increase the total.
Okay.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, from this point forward, the project, if we didn't want to go over, there's only 2 million roughly to spend on the back of the house.
Right.
Not 4 million.
Right.
Hey, Alex.
And for that project, you're saying what we have is that amount plus we would have to get. Do we know confidently how much it would cost to re-engage and do any of that scope work? That
was the 400,000.
Okay.
And we still need an actual proposal from them, but that was basically the.
And that work, that scope, you're saying it would all be quarterly, you'd get it back. Like if we have to spend 200 or 2 million, basically we'd be getting it back pretty closely after we doing the work.
Right, within about 3 months.
So it seems like a pretty easy way if you need to find. It's kind of
get it. Yeah.
It's a pretty quick turnaround.
Right, so at this stage, for example, if the back of the house project is 3 million, we would need to come up with all of it, but we'd get $1.7 million back.
Right.
Great.
So this actual new money would be the $1.3 million.
Right.
That's just with my example of 3 million. Okay. What else, Dan?
So Paris reporting is under review by Harris Beach. As soon as they give me the okay, that'll be submitted to the state by our CFO. The RU completed and submitted the annual PRR report to DEC on October 1st. I'm not sure if anyone's seen, but the additional banners were ordered and have been installed, 3 of them on the new chain link fence at 6468 Beekman.
Is that where they all are? Is on that fence?
Yeah, the sleeping hollows in the middle, and then the 2.
Yeah. How does it look, Benji?
That's very good. Yeah.
I haven't.
Did those actually come through for the price that we saw? It was like $700 or
Is
something?
this the?
It's like 600 bucks.
To me.
Yeah, that looks
And they were like done like the next day.
really pops against that black back.
Is that
I
like
think
the
the
signs,
signs,
are
I
there
think
lights
she was-
hitting it or is it state?
Looks like to
It's
amp
just
up
been
the
today.
saturation.
I was expecting to see like a lava lamp or something.
It's funny too, because I've seen like old timers walking by and like looking at all of them.
That's cool. That's cool.
And, like,
That was great, great idea, man.
And then, Hill.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that-
what's happening on, Green County. It's hard to see.
That's
You should take, like a photo every time he works on it and do a time lapse.
Anything else, Dan?
Two more. HHV, they will submit plans and their permit application to the LDC for review prior to any submission for their proposed dredge project. And then lastly, I met with
Just so everyone's clear, that'll be, we've already talked about this. This will be the thing they actually submit. So we get a last look just to make sure it incorporates everything we discussed.
And lastly, I met down at the site with the sustainability committee, Suzanne Jones, and essentially what we discussed is the sustainability committee will try and create a community project to do some wildflower planting down on the east parcel in early spring. So the LDC can purchase that seed in advance, and then the committee will, use volunteer labor to try and selectively plant some areas and just make it look a little bit nicer than the standard mix that's going in.
That'll look really good. Why does spring not fall?
With that, really, it just has to do with the type of flowers and to ensure that, you can plant them now, but a lot of it might not survive the winter.
Cool.
So they're also reviewing some suggested tree planting locations. The village has some leftover trees that were never planted from that, all the ones they had last year, and they're expecting, I think, another 45 or so. So they'll take a look at that and see what species and sizes and things make sense for some portions along the Clinton Street extension. And we'll go from there.
So I think the village has like a pretty good deal to get trees now. It's like 2 for 1 or 3 for 1.
3 for 1. I had.
Yeah. Do we want to get more, right? I mean, the longer the trees are in, the bigger they get.
Well, that we did as
Should we plant a bunch next to the train tracks?
it's certainly something to consider. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is one of the things we talked about, that I think that the DPW limited their purchase this year to just 45 to make sure that they had enough places to put them, but
Is it too late to add to their order?
I think so, but I think if we were going to get more, it would probably be for next year. But at least of the allotment of what's left over and that allotment that they're going to be getting in, they'll see if they can set some of those aside for planting on the east parcel.
It would be good to have them like along the train tracks, I'm thinking, and like circumference of the field.
Yeah, we can, I mean, the thing that's hard about that is just portions of that haven't been fully developed, or, we don't want to plant some trees and then that's where the backstop for, multi-purpose field has to go. The areas that I've submitted to them are pretty much those little triangles of space, like between the sidewalk and the property line, where it's just going to be a little grass patch. So
Let's see what she comes up with, and we just don't want to miss out. So we'll take everything they've got.
Yeah,
Plenty of places to put them.
so I mean, even that, not sure. Have to coordinate with Anthony a little bit as far as the slope underneath, like the senior center. But there's there are many areas throughout the east parcel that we can probably plant some trees and provide some additional screening. So
Are all the trees the same type?
Oh, I don't think so. I think
they're not, they're slightly different species.
Even coming down Continental.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's all sorts of strategy about how big the roots get, so where you want to put
Yeah.
it. If it's like in a sidewalk pit, you want to have a different type.
It's flowering.
Flowering, yeah.
Cool.
Tall it gets.
That's great. They're involved.
Yeah.
That'll be a big help. That it, Dan?
That's it. Other than that, just when, as of right now, our next meeting is next week on the 20th. Do we want to move that to the 27th, hold it?
What do you guys think?
Cannot make. it. But.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, we can move these around. Should we try and go 2 weeks out? Which would be,
I think October 27th is the debate, the League of Women Voters debate. So
On Monday?
debating.
I'm not, but I would like to watch it.
We could watch it here.
Yeah, that's true. We could.
Do that or the
Tuesday or the
third.
28th, if it-
after.
Let's stick to Mondays, like the Tuesday. Or the third.
27th doesn't work, people said.
I mean, it works, but it's the debate.
What time does that start?
It's like so long. I think it's 6 to 7 is the mayoral debate and 7 to 8:30 is the trustee debates. Yeah.
That'll be
Intense.
fun.
There's also the November 3rd, Monday, it's the first Monday in the month.
Yeah.
And then like we could actually, in sometime in October, walk down to the site
Yeah.
and use that kind of as the middle crutch.
I think you sent a few invites.
I did send a
Yeah.
few invites just that I thought might work for, late afternoon, early evening. If none of those do work, just reach out and I'll try and coordinate some other,
So what are we thinking now? The 3rd?
That works for me.
Seems to be maybe just with October being October, seems like November.
All right, so let's go with the 3rd. Joan, you got that?
Yes.
Was there any update with, Curran and,
no, he is supposed to get me something.
Yeah.
He just hasn't sent it yet. So they are working on finalizing those costs.
and what's the upfront cost? Do you remember roughly what the upfront cost is for that project for us?
Remaining?
Yeah.
Right now
I
is
mean, just for like if to start the next
to
steps.
start then, well, yeah, it's about 3 million.
Which was
Almost
it? Sorry,
exactly.
which project was this?
This is for the promenade,
Skate park.
Yeah,
pickleball, tennis courts and skate park. So the last version of the final estimate was like $3 million and 5,000.
And but a million or so of that is reimbursable through the grant, right?
More than
It's like
that.
a million and a half or something.
Yeah.
1.3 years.
About probably close to 2 million between the LWRP grant and the skate park grant.
So
And those are also,
just like the back of house, there's money that could be easily kind of pulled back